Welcome and thank you for joining us in our Proven Learning Series presentation, which will cover capturing signatures on custom forms electronically. Custom forms in Proven Jobs can be created to not only capture signatures on forms such as work authorizations or change orders, but also allow for the recipient to complete information on the form prior to signing, such as survey questions on a certificate of satisfaction. Before we begin the session, let's review a few housekeeping items. All attendees have been muted for the duration of the session to cut down on background noise. Your videos have also been turned off during the session to avoid any visual distractions. The recording of this session will be available via our PSA Help library in addition to our company YouTube channel. Lastly, any questions you may have regarding the content of today's session can be directed to our PSA support team. Support can be reached at support@canmsys.com. Today, we will be covering the following: settings and role security. We will review custom form setup, form preparation on a job, the form signature process, and finally, job audit information and reporting. Let's start off with looking at role permissions. Company administrators will need to review the following role permissions to allow users to create e-signature requests. In Settings, Roles, find the role that you wish to review the permissions. In this session, we're going to look at the Office PMA role. We're going to click on Edit. In General, we want to select Document Signing. In here, we need to ensure that Create Request and View Request have been selected. Also within General, we want to select Files. In this role permission, we need to ensure that Edit, Upload File, and View have also been selected. In Reports, we need to select Report again. And in this session, we are going to ensure that our job completion form has been selected for our users to be able to preview the form. Don't forget, hit Save when you've made any changes. Next, we will review some of the features within a custom form. We will be reviewing signed document notifications, default folder and increment file name on save, preview e-signature input, mobile and public PDF option, plus auto-filling dates. We'll also look at the form preview option, and lastly, we will look at the default signature link active option. So let's get started and take a look at those custom forms. Navigating up to Settings, Company Settings, and within the General area, we want to select Edit Custom Forms. Here you will be displaying a list of all forms that have been created. For today's session, we are going to review the job completion form. Clicking on Edit. In here, you will be presented with a number of fields that have been created for this form previously. The first area that we are going to look at is the Signed Document Notification area. When a custom form is signed by an email recipient, the creator of the signing request will receive an email. However, users have the option to select additional recipients if other contacts need to be advised when a document has been signed, other than the creator of the request. Choose from either company types or by employee types, or users have the ability to search for email recipients. Also within this area, we have default folder. The default folder option allows the user to assign the form when it is signed to a specific folder on the Attachments tab. Upon signing completion, this form will then be automatically uploaded to the folder selected here. Lastly, in here is the increment file name and save option. If the checkbox is selected, the signed form will be uploaded and will not overwrite an existing signed form of the same name. The system will place a hyphen and then a 1 after the form name. If more than one form signed is uploaded, the system will continue to add that form with the name and sequential numbering. An example of this would be for change orders where there is more than one signed on a job. The Preview e-signature input option, if a form is set up to have the recipient complete sections of the form, such as survey questions, by clicking on Preview e-signature, selecting the applicable recipient, users will be able to see what the recipient is to fill out. The For Mobile checkbox, this option makes this form visible on the mobile application for completion. Make Public PDF, this option when selected on the form will automatically make the form public once the form is completed and saved on the Job Attachments tab. This option will set the form to public visibility for those customers who wish the form to be sent to a linked assignment to either Exact Analysis or Symbility Core Logic, or if the form needs to be visible within the customer portal. Another feature within custom forms is the ability to have a date autofill onto a job based on the signature being applied. In this example, when our customer signs our form, our actual completion date will be applied to the Job Dates tab. Back on our list of forms, users will also see a preview option. When selected, it will preview the form for the visibility of how that form will appear. The last setting that we are going to review is the Signature Link Active. We're going to navigate into Jobs. We're going to select Notification, and in here, users will have the ability to enter in the number of hours they wish a form to be active. The maximum number of hours a form can be active is 168 hours, which is the equivalent of 7 days. Here in our Job Lookup screen, navigate to find the job you wish to add an e-signature request, clicking on Edit to open the job. In order for an e-signature request to be completed, the job customer or contact record requires an email address. The email address cannot be just on the Job Info tab. To quickly review if the customer record has an email address, select the first icon next to customer, which will open the customer record. If an email address is not on the customer record but is on the Job Info tab, users can select the second icon next to customer, answer the question, would you like to update the customer contact methods from this job contact info? Select yes. A blue banner will appear. The company contact methods have been updated successfully. Once we have successfully updated our customer record, we're now going to attach a form. We're going to go to the Attachments tab. We're going to select Forms. And in our drop-down, we will see a list of available forms for our completion. I'm going to select the Job Completion form and select the plus Add. Here, users have the ability, should they want to change the name of the form, perhaps to add the customer's name. Select Save. Next, we want to click on the blue hyperlink, which will open the form fields. In here, we can see that our fields are pulling from our job, such as our job name, our number, our address, insurance office, our claim number, etc. Once the user has made any edits to the form fields, you must navigate to the Save option. And then we're going to select Back to List. Back in the Attachments tab, we do want to change our view to a list view. Once we have selected the list view, we want to select the airplane icon. We now have the ability to fill in the form with our subject, our body of our note, or alternatively, if you have created a log note template, go ahead and select our log note template. Clicking the plus Add, you will see that the form has now been filled in based on the information set up in the job note template. Next, we want to select our email recipients. Searching for our email recipient. Selecting plus Add. In this form, we have options to choose who's signing for Andrea Reynolds. We only have one signature required on this form, but should there be others, you would see the applicable field to select. Hit Save. Users will also see the hours the link is active option in the form. You do have the ability to adjust this time up or down. Once we've made all of our entries, we want to navigate over to Save. This acts as our Send option. Back on the Attachments tab, the audit for the status of the request made will now be visible to show when it was sent, by whom, and to whom it was sent to for signatures. The email that the recipient will receive will contain a link. This blue hyperlink will allow the user to view the form and sign. User will click on the link. They'll be prompted with a message to confirm their identity. Please note that once the identity has been confirmed, the user will have 60 minutes to review and sign this document. The recipient will now be able to preview the form to review its contents prior to signing. When the recipient is ready to sign, they will navigate to the top left corner and select Sign. Our form has pre-populated fields that our recipient can now select. Once they've made all of their selections, they can put in comments to rate and then select Next. The signature requirements on this document are looking for signatures and initials. They will also be required to select this checkbox and then hit Save. Now the recipient has the ability to download a signed copy for their records. Once our recipient has signed the document, our creator of the request will receive an email that the form has been signed. Back on the Attachments tab, we can now review the audit information for the completed e-signature request. Here, we'll be able to see the date and timestamp for which that recipient signed the form, who signed it, their location, and IP address. There is also a hyperlink to a map to show the exact location that the form was signed. Upon completion of this, users also have the ability to review a signed document in the form of a PDF. Navigating back to All, users will see that there is a PDF of the signing history. They'll have the ability to select the document to review the history for that signed document. This will include when it was created and by whom, when it was sent and to whom, when it was signed and by whom, and the acknowledgement, the signing date and time stamp. Now, should your recipient not sign the document within the time selected for the expiry, users will note that there will be an expired option in the Forms section. Simply clicking on the expired option, it will ask you if you want to send this request again. Selecting Yes, the signing request has been sent again to our customer. For your convenience, we've also generated a report called Remote Signing Report. This can be found in the Reports menu option under List All. Filtering for the report, select View. In here, you can select your from and to date range. You can decide whether or not you want to see reports that have been signed, yes, no, or all. And you can also be specific to the job should you desire, or just simply hit Submit. In here, users will be able to see all of the forms that have been signed within the specified period. Should you wish to, you do have the ability to export this report out to a PDF, Excel, or even a Word document. This concludes our session today on the electronic signature process. As mentioned, if you have any questions, please reach out to our support team at support@canmsys.com.